shit. I can't wait. I mean, he's a good dude though. He's a good dude. His fiance is a sweetheart. She's a great person. You know.
So did you ask him what changed his mind, or what like caused him to finally like pull the trigger?
He said that there's things in life you got to sacrifice, and he figured he'd just be the sacrificial lamb, and then bite it, and go all in.
Yeah. Okay.
We're just I'm glad they got it. I'm glad.
Yeah.
It's about time. I mean, she puts up with his man. I'll tell you, this guy. He's a funny guy. He's a great guy.
Okay.
But the shit she puts up with him.
Oh, really?
I mean, yeah. She's a saint.
So he's kind of the problem?
Well, he's also, I don't know if you want to call it a problem, but I mean, he doesn't do anything to really give her a heart attack or stress her out.
Okay.
It's just who he is as a human being.
Just a ball buster or like a hard person to tolerate, or
when they say never tell someone your next move.
Yeah,
he's that.
Oh, he always
you
tells
just don't know.
Next move.
You just don't know what he's doing.
Oh, so he's just like pulling shit out of his ass. And you're like, why? What are you doing? What
was that for?
Yeah, what was that for?
Yeah. But he's a good dude. I've worked with him for probably 6 years, 7 years.
Okay.
And I went on a date with his now fiance, her sister, at one point. Smoke show.
Really?
She's a smoke show.
Okay.
Only if you got a fat wallet. Yeah,
one of those.
Yeah, we went on this date. We went. You know where Westwood is, right? Westwood, out by Newton. That area. It's a very prompt area.
Okay.
With a lot of rich people.
So she likes to like big money.
Yeah, and she's a nanny. So she nannies for rich people or sports players or whoever.
So she's like part of the lifestyle without living the lifestyle, in a sense.
Yeah, so and then it seems like she tries to work her way into a relationship with a husband. Yes.
Yeah.
So we went on a date one night and it was going pretty well. Get back to her car, and we're sitting in the car at the end of the night, and I just started rubbing her feet. I don't know what it is, man. Women, I am not a major foot guy. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not. I mean, but if they've got the perfect feet, man, I could be touching them all day. I don't know what it is.
So I know there's like two different types of people. There's people that have like a foot fetish. Yeah. And there's people who think feet are absolutely disgusting. So like feet to me don't turn me on, but I have no problem rubbing a girl's feet.
Right.
Like if we're like flirting back and forth, or if like my girlfriend like dating, whatever like that. Yeah. I have no problem rubbing your foot. I don't understand how people get turned on by it. That's just me though. You know what I mean?
I'm the same way. Like I don't just look at a pair of feet.
Oh, I'm so turned on. Like I don't get it. I really don't fucking get it. Like what is so attractive about a foot, dude?
No, it's like if like that night with her, like I was rubbing her feet.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was just, I don't know what it was, but I wanted to jump her bones.
I mean, she's got some pretty ass feet. You know what I mean?
But she's cute. She was cute all around.
Yeah.
I mean, she had a little package, but
yeah,
she was cute all around. You know, but I never heard from her again.
Really? What do you think the reason was?
I didn't have money. Not enough. I didn't have enough.
That's fucked up.
I didn't have enough.
Did she seem like she was having a good time?
Kinda. Yeah.
So she might have been just like playing along, just making it happy.
I think
Okay.
overall.
I'm assuming like you like made the first moves to ask her out and all that.
Oh, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. I did.
I mean, the majority of men do, but
then,
you know what I mean?
But then my buddy was telling me how much of a cunt she is. So
makes sense.
After it all,
yeah.
He's like, I warned you, Green. I warned you. I said, sometimes people just gotta find out on their own. You know.
It is. But did you at least get laid?
No. I got nothing out of it. I got nothing out of it.
Yeah. You brought, let me guess.
I got to rubber feet.
You brought an expensive ass date, right?
Yep.
Oh,
we were in Westwood. Yeah, we're on University. We're on University Boulevard.
Yeah, and you get nothing out of it.
I got to rubber feet.
Whoa. Whoa. God. some fucking people. Now, what did it, now? How did that conversation even come about with you, like, per se, not having enough money? Because I'm sure you have money, but not having enough.
Do my buddy. So,
also, he said it.
Well,
not to throw you under the bus.
No. You're right though. You're right. No, that's the part I almost forgot.
Okay.
So we went on the date.
Yep.
And later the next day, you know, I told him how great it was. It was a great time. You know, I left the foot part out. But
all right.
You know, I said that she was great, and he asked me if you know we fucked, and I said, well, no. I said, no, we didn't. I mean, even though she lives right down the street from where we were. Needless to say, I mean, I live in Rockland, so you know, I figured we'd probably go back to her house. Where she lives alone. She lives with cats. She's one of them cat ladies.
Okay.
You know, she has no children. You know, things like that. No kids.
Okay.
So I think that was another reason too. Was the fact that
I was just gonna say you had kids and she didn't. So okay, so that could be another thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, on your end.
But she's a nanny.
Right.
She's a nanny. You know what I mean?
So she's good with kids. So that shouldn't be it's a fine line of a good but bad excuse. It's a good excuse because, like, especially if you don't know someone that well, it's a bad excuse if you're trying to actually get to know someone, and you shouldn't judge them just because you have kids.
Well, she said too that because when we were out, obviously we had some drinks.
Okay.
And apparently I was talking too much about my ex.
Ooh.
But not in a bad way. Not in a bad way of like.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad way.
It was still kind of fresh. Not
really.
The
breakup was fresh.
Not really, not too fresh, but it was still fresh. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But like she would go on about her exes and stuff like that, right? She would go on about her exes, and every now and then I would chime in with things that happened and stuff like that. Because she would ask me questions of what would happen. You know, so it's like it's not like I'm just sitting there chewing her ear. So
she's asking you questions about your relationship, but she said you talked to.
Well, that's what I'm serious. That's what I'm saying. So that's what my buddy was telling me.
Don't fucking ask.
That's what my buddy was telling me at work the next day. That's what my buddy was telling me the next day.
Ladies.
Or 2 days. 2 days.
Ladies, take notes, please. Okay? If you're going to bitch that your date, whatever, if you're opening the door for a question and then you complain that he's talking about it too much, don't fucking ask. I feel like that's common sense, right? Is it just me?
It is common sense.
Oh, well, but I'm trying to get to know conversation. Shut the fuck up then.
Well, my thing is like everybody wants to know a little bit about someone's past. Like it's not a bad thing,
right?
You know, like
you're gonna ask questions. It is what it is.
Yeah, you're gonna go from like their childhood to have you been married before? Do you have any kids? Who are your exes like? You know, in a way, it's almost like a fucking interview. You know?
No, it's 100% an interview.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's not just going out and hanging out with the person.
Right.
Right? So, yes, questions of exes.
It's 20 like questions. It's literally what it is. Like, whenever you get to know someone, be like, hey, let's play 20 questions. I ask you a question, you ask me a question, you keep going back and forth.
It's going to happen. Yeah. It's going to happen. You know, but that's the thing. And then when you start talking about stuff like that, you know, you can start upsetting people. And that's what I don't get. It's like you just said, like you open the door,
right? And you don't know what you got yourself into.
Correct.
You don't know if you hit you don't know if you hit a nerve with the question.
Correct.
And when you hit a nerve, most people don't know that you don't know that you hit the nerve, and shit comes out.
Well, let's just say this too. So she was nannying for a couple for a while.
Okay.
For a while, a couple years, several years. From this is what I've heard.
Right.
She didn't really tell me. No, she did. She told me. She had no shame.
Okay.
She had no shame. She started dating the husband.
Oh, dear.
Yep. The wife didn't know for a while. He got her own place that he would go to.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Now she's nannying for them.
That's already a red flag.
She's nannying them for them.
That's already a red fucking flag, and you still went after that? Or she was telling you on the date.
I kind of knew about it ahead of time.
Oh, you dumbass! You fucking dumbass! I mean, if you were at that, like, just trying to get laid at that point, then fucking whatever.
I mean, I really wasn't expecting a whole lot.
Yeah.
But,
dumbass.
And then I guess after me, she started nannying for a football player,
Of course.
and she was trying to get with him, like a Patriots player, like a Patriots football player.
So she's just a fucking
and she
straight
was
up
trying
gold
to get
digger.
with him.
So she's just
Oh,
straight
he's
up gold
even
digger.
admitted it. He said it flat out.
Yeah.
He said that she is a 100%.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's, I mean,
See, you know what? You want to know what the pity or spiteful me would have done? I would have taken her out on a date, or brought her to like fucking like Burger King or some shit just to piss her off.
well, the problem is, the thing is like we would meet up.
Okay.
I wouldn't pick her up because I had no idea where she lived. I knew she lived down the street. She lived in, Westwood.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, she would always try to meet up with me. And the thing is and the other thing is so I was borrowing my sister's car that night because my truck was in the shop.
Okay.
Now my sister owns two dogs.
Okay.
Things like that, and she works 2 jobs, right? And so her car is rarely ever clean. So I pull up in this.
Oh no!
I pull up in this thing.
It's already a disaster.
I didn't care. I mean, you know what?
Oh fuck!
Well, I asked her. I said, "Hey, I'm pulling in. What kind of car do you have?" And she goes, she drives a Nissan, right?
Okay.
Nissan, was it Maxima? Maxima's the big one, right? Maxima.
Maxima, I believe, is the bigger one because it's the Ultima and the Maxima.
And then which one's like the mid-size, like Jeepish SUV? The Rogue.
The Jeepish
Nissan Rogue.
It's they're the
There's the Ultima.
it's an SUV.
There's the Sentra, the Maxima,
The Sentra's a small car,
the Sentra, Ultima.
so it goes like I think it goes Sentra, Ultima, Maxima, and then the Rogue is the SUV.
Is the SUV. I mean, it's not huge, but
No,
it's
it's
a nice
like
car.
it's like a tiny 4-wheel drive
Yeah.
car, whatever.
So she said Nissan, and I was like, "Oh, great." She goes, "Well, what are you pulling in?" And I said, "Oh, I'm pulling up in a Nissan, black Nissan Rogue." And I think just by the look of the outside of the thing, when I pulled in,
He's broke as fuck. Word,
I mean, all that needed to have on the outside was like a donut, on the. But I mean, you know what? I gave it a shot, like everything else.
Hey, you still did, because you know what? At the end of the day, you knew what you were getting yourself into for the most part, but you never know what's going to happen.
Well, exactly.
Unless you do it. You don't know if it could turn into a healthy relationship. You don't know if it could just turn into a one-night stand.
Dude,
it could have been a fucking shit show, and you're like, I'm done.
I could go on for hours about the girls I did.
Yeah.
Like, there was one when I was 20. I want to say I had to have been 22. 23, maybe 24, around there.
Okay.
Bunch of us, me and my friends, like, I grew up with, like, a rough set of friends. Like, greatest guys you'd ever meet. You didn't know what they were up to. You always found out the minute you got to wherever they planned on going. Like, they wouldn't really tell you, So you just, you tagged along. It was more like you just tagged along. You know what I mean? So I met this girl online. This was either on OkCupid or Plenty of Fish. I think it was on OkCupid when that OkCupid first came out. Do you remember that? Do you remember when OkCupid and Plenty of Fish first came out?
So Plenty of Fish I used, and I didn't use the OkCupid.
And it was really before, pretty much, like, it was right when wireless started taking off.
Okay.
Most people still had the landline hooked in.
Yep.
It was like wireless was still kind of boggy and it was slow. So I met this girl on, I want to say it was OkCupid.
Okay.
And her name was Emily Rose.
Emily Rose.
Emily Rose.
Okay.
We went on a couple dates, right? And I wasn't smart enough yet to like make sure
Uh-oh.
like like, I wasn't smart enough yet not to bring girls around my friends, by the way. Do you know what I mean? Like, give it time, kind of thing. Like, I always brought them right away.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I thought it was always kind of shit. You know, I was like, I got this beautiful girl.
Yeah.
So, the first time I brought her was Halloween. And
Dressed like a slut?
What's that?
Was she dressed like a slut?
No.
No? Okay.
No. In fact, honestly, I can't exactly remember what she was dressed as. I think I was dressed. I think me and my friends, because it was a costume theme party, we did togas. So we literally, a lot of us had nothing on underneath these bed sheets. Like, we just threw them on however we felt.
Right.
And I remember we were at my friend's house. And it was all of us. And he had revamped his lawnmower, his tractor, to, tug a big, huge, trailer behind it.
Okay.
And at the party, this Halloween party was down the street. I mean, it would have been like a 10-minute, not even walk.
Yep.
But with the lawnmower, it took a couple minutes, So, someone brought their girlfriend, who was dressed as Mario and weighed 360 pounds.
Oh my God.
And she had to have been no more than probably like 5'2", 5'3". So we're looking at a cannonball. Now, this is where I thought she was pretty cool at the time, right? So we are getting ready to go to the party. So we go out to where this trailer is, right? The little pull trailer.
Yeah.
And I want to say maybe like the trailer, like the distance of it was probably just as long as these two tables together, pushed together. Maybe just a little wider, right? So this girl and the guy I was more of an acquaintance with him. I was never so much like really friend. I mean, I went to school with him and stuff like that, but he was always, I don't know, slow. I guess, like, he just never knew when to not say the wrong thing at the wrong time.
So no filter at all.
Yeah,
but
he just never
wasn't
thought.
smart enough to.
He wasn't smart. We'll say it wasn't smart. So
Yeah.
so this girl was no different. So me and Emily get on the back of this tractor, right? And all of a sudden, something happens with the trailer. Oh, yes, it was too heavy to pull because there was a lot of us on it.
Okay.
This cannonball turns to Emily and says, "You guys need to get off. You're too heavy." And Emily turns around and goes, "That's coming from you, Mario."
Oh my God.
So she looks at me and she goes, "You know what? Fuck it. Let's get off. We'll walk." I said, "All right, we'll walk." So we walk to the party. Now, the rest of the winter goes by and we come across the summertime now.
Okay.
And we always did a trip. Me and the guys always did a trip up to Saco River. We'd bring a ton of canoes. We had a huge canoe rack. We'd take the truck. We'd all get in. Big truck. It was a Denali.
Okay.
We'd always go up to Saco River. And I decided to bring this girl. I know we had been talking, but she would just... I got to the point where I realized I didn't really want a relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she would always hit me up all the time. And I remember getting closer to the trip of Saco, and I told this girl I didn't want to be in a relationship.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm ready for one. Whatever. Yeah. So she started to get stockish with me. I don't know. I mean, she
Stockish?
didn't. She didn't live far either. She probably lived about maybe 25
Oh,
minutes.
she's literally stalking you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant stockish,
So-
building muscle
right.
or something.
So-
But stalking. Oh, that's a whole new level.
She started befriending all of my friends and their girlfriends.
Okay.
Up to the summertime.
She thought you were hot stuff.
So we get to Saco. So we get up to the point of the trip. Now, I hadn't talked to her about it. She had heard it through my buddy's girlfriend.
Okay.
And was invited through my buddy's girlfriend. So we're packing up the truck and she shows up. And I'm like, what is she doing here? And my buddy's girlfriend goes, "Oh, I thought you knew. She said you knew that she was coming." I was
What
like,
the
no,
fuck?
like I didn't talk to her about this.
Oh my god.
So we pack up the canoes, and I walk over and I said, who told you we're going on a trip? And she goes, oh, well, she did. And I said, oh, okay. Now I don't know what I'm going to say at this point. She's here.
Yeah, right.
She's here, right? She's got everything. Now I was smart enough to bring those water bags. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you put your stuff in it, like electronics, things like that, clothes, and then it's like you take the bag
Like
and then
the
you
plastic
snap
clear
it.
bags.
They're kind of like that, but some of them are made like rubber or whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keeps
So like
the water
Yeah.
out.
So if like you throw it in a lake, it won't sink or whatever.
Oh,
or if
yeah.
it does, there's no water that gets in it. Yeah.
So we're sitting in this canoe. You know, we get to Saco, we unload all the canoes. And I told her that the bag setup was like the big ones were for the clothes, the towels,